Good morning. Welcome to Corky's Tea Time. As a matter of fact, I'm having a cup of raspberry tea right here in my raspberry cup. Isn't that so pretty? I put some cream in. Gotta get those fluids going in the morning, you know. Nothing like that first cup of tea in the morning. For sure. So anyways, I just wanted to let you know a couple of things that have been going on. One of them was we stopped at a thrift store yesterday. That was an impulse because we had to go pick somebody up, but we were going to be about 20 minutes early. So instead of just sitting out in the parking lot, I'm like, why don't we just go around the corner? Because we had stopped to get gas, and I was like, thrift store right around the corner. We can just pop in and spend a few minutes so we don't have to just sit in the parking lot. We got there, and the husband's like, okay, we're going to have to make this a fast one. And I said, you're right. So we got in there, and oh my goodness, they're having a color tag sale, and I never, ever get to go to those color tag sales. I always miss them. Well, I picked up a soup tureen and a little pitcher by Noritake. It is so smooth, so soft, and I will make a video after this one, and I will show it to y'all. But I wanted to tell you a story about something that I was thinking about again. Memories. That's what it is. It's a memory. We lived in this quiet little town. I loved it. It was one of those happy segments in my life. That was one of the happiest towns I had ever lived in, other than Kansas. So that's not the point. The point is, we had bought our first home. We were pregnant with our third child. Let's see. Bought our first home. We had the perfect puppy named Spud. A great little beagle, so loyal, so dedicated to the family. He was so loved. And then, so I had my son and my daughter. We're pregnant with the third child. And so anyways, one morning, my husband goes outside to work on our new mobile home because there was just this patch that needed to be repaired from the move. So he went out there to work on it, and I was outside watching him. The neighbor behind us, he comes over. That was one of the great things. We weren't in a mobile home park. We were in a neighborhood because that's where they had put us, was in a neighborhood. It was so awesome, And so anyways, neighbor comes over, and he says, I see Spud is here. Where's your son? Spud is always with your son. I said, I didn't figure anything about that. I said, Spud's here, so I thought Robert would be here. And he says, well, I don't see Robert anywhere. And we had noticed this one lady started driving up and down the street, up and down the street, up and down the street. And so I went around the neighborhood, and I looked for Robert, and I even went in my house and I looked for him. He was nowhere to be found. And so we stopped the lady and we talked to her. And she said my son was over playing with her son, Dylan. And I said, okay, you can't find your son. I can't find my son. We both have looked. It is time to call the police. And the sheriff came. He responded so quickly. He came right away. He was on it right away. He jumped into action right away. And he found our sons. He had found them over by the church. So he told us where to go to get our sons. And so we walk over to this church. And he gave us exactly where they were at. We go behind the church, and here's this giant farmer's field. It is huge. And at the end of that farmer's field is going to be a gulch, a ditch, whatever you call it, where you live at. And so we got to walking across this field, and here's one of Dylan's socks. Here's one of Robert's socks. Here's one of Dylan's shoes. There's one of Robert's shoes. Okay, here's a shirt that belongs to Dylan. There's Robert's shorts. So as two mothers going across this field, the thoughts, the images, and the horror that is going through our minds was terrible. But we finally made it to the end of that field. Looked down in that ditch. My son looks up and sees me. He goes, "Look, Mom, what I found." He holds up 2 fists full of snakes. Like, never so relieved to see him. Never so happy to know that he is okay. And then the happiness kind of goes over here. And then the mommy of discipline comes into action. Got him out of the ditch, got him cleaned off, had him get his clothes on, and I made him walk home. When he got home, because I told him, I said, all the way home, you think about what you have done. We got home, and the mommy of discipline came into play. And he knows to never have done that again. And he didn't. I never, in the rest of my years, have had to wonder where that boy was. He never pulled a disappearing act again, you know. It was a very, very scary day, you know. And for two mothers to have been walking across that field with the same thoughts and images in their mind. But I think that sheriff who found them, what a great thing he did, jumping into action right away, and he took charge and he found those boys right away. What a great guy. And I really thank him a lot to this day. And I will talk to you all later. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.